Hello, Anto.
Hey, Mrs. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. So we have been talking about this for the last while,
Yeah,
the last few weeks, months, years, really. It's something that's become a bit of a bugbear for both of us. And
huge.
I
Yeah,
suppose it's popped up again very, very recently for
yeah,
us. Um, and that is non-homeopaths prescribing remedies.
yeah, yeah.
So do you want to tell your experience?
So yeah, and again, I suppose mine is a bit balanced. So I'll start off with the positives. I have a number of clients who go to kinesiologists, and they know they're also seeing me at the same time. And sometimes the kinesiologist will pick up, say, liver or kidneys need supporting, but they check if I'm already prescribing supports or if they're already on a current prescription or if the so even without ever meeting these kinesiologists, we collaborate with each other. There's a very respectful, and I would be the same back then. So when my client comes to me, I find out what the kinesiologist has them. A lot of kinesiologists in Ireland use New Vistas products, which are a combination of homeopathy. But what's beautiful is we collaborate, and that's how it should be. So our clients have a team of practitioners supporting their health. However, recently I had the experience, and this wasn't a kinesiologist, this was just somebody who works in the health field who was working with a client and midway through the session said, you could probably do with this remedy in homeopathy and maybe you should book in with someone. But the person went out and ordered that remedy and started popping it. When I asked them even what potency they'd ordered, they didn't know what I was even talking about. So they were, now luckily, they were only, I think it was less than a week into taking that remedy. But they hadn't even a clue what they were doing. They were just popping pills.
Yeah.
And that was from another practitioner saying, oh, take this remedy. I'm not even going to name what the remedy was because you know
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
So that was my experience recently.
And then mine was, and the same with yourself. I work with kinesiologists and I work with osteopaths, and we work really, really closely together, and we have great relationships. My issue has probably been more with naturopaths who maybe do a small module in
Mm,
homeopathy, a very, very tiny module. And just to set the scene, Gráinne and I, we have done 4 years minimum basic training. And then both of us, you've done several years after that.
yeah,
I did 2 more years after that. So that's minimum of 6 years training. It's not
yeah,
a weekend course. It's not a 3 month course. And so my experience recently, and this is nothing to do with the person who came to me. She was trying to buy a remedy, and she said she had been told to get this remedy by her kinesiologist, and she was told to get a 100C, which is not a potency that we use. It's not a typical potency at all. And she was told to take that twice a day for 37 days, then have a break, and then go back on it for a further 37 days twice a day. And that's really dangerous. The best outcome there is that it would do nothing. But the worst outcome is that it would trigger something big that had been dormant there that would come out. And that's somebody with no clue of homeopathy at all. That's not how it works. We give the minimum dose, the tiniest amount
mm,
needed to get the body doing its own job. That's a really heavy-handed, uneducated, unhelpful prescription. I was horrified and I didn't send it out to them.
yeah,
Um, just horrified. Like, we can't do that. There are 6,000, and that's growing all the time, 6,000, maybe 7,000 remedies out there. So you've got a 1 in a 6 to 7,000 chance of getting it right. And then there's all the different potencies.
yeah,
So my thing would be, if somebody is saying something like that to you, run. Just run.
mm,
Go to a homeopath. If you want a homeopathic prescription, go to a homeopath. If you want kinesiology,
yeah.
go to a kinesiologist.
I
Like, I
had a
would
thought.
never.
I had a
Sorry, go
thought
on.
about that. No, because I was thinking because obviously we knew we were going to do this, and I had a thought this morning as I was drying my hair, and it was that if somebody said, "Oh, do you know that acupuncture point is really good for those headaches?" Nobody would ever dream of going out and buying a needle themselves and
Yeah,
sticking it in their hand.
yeah,
Nobody. But somehow, and so that respect is afforded acupuncturists, A, because we know needles can differ. Even I know that a little bit from my own experience. But equally, you wouldn't know how far to put it in, how long to leave it in. What if the body changes the position of the needle? I mean, these are all things that happen. And we know, oh, well, we need the acupuncturist because they know how to handle all of that. See the analogy?
Yeah.
We are not, and many people do, but homeopathy needs to be respected to that level.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And it's we can get really ranty about this. I know
Yeah,
we can,
yeah,
but we're really serious about this. And I was thinking about this as well, Gráinne, before we came on. You and I have run massive groups together. We've run really, really big groups, and we worked as part of the academy years ago.
yeah,
And remember that group when people were coming in and they were saying, what can I use for blah, blah, blah? We insisted that they gave clams. If you don't know what clams are, other than something you might have an allergy to or something you get in a seafood restaurant, you've got no right interfering in homeopathy. They had to tell us what they were considering and why. And
yeah,
that was a basic requirement for asking for information in the group. But I'm seeing groups everywhere, holistic groups, and they're throwing in questions. What can I give my child for foot and mouth? And they're getting, again, 1 in a 6,000 chance of it being the right remedy. And they're going out and they're buying that. So um, I would just be really, really careful. Just not even be careful. Don't do it. Just
yeah,
don't do it. Step
yeah.
away. And
Yeah, well,
yeah,
I'm going to throw a little controversial bomb in here, just because we are having a little ranty, but it does bring me back to I start to wonder, should our pharmacies be regulated to the extent that only homeopaths can access them, or people with prescriptions? Because this idea of people who don't know what they're doing accessing our gorgeous but potent remedies is scary.
yeah,
And you know, it like I love the fact that energy medicine is coming to the fore now, which means homeopathy. I love the potential of it, but it also scares me that in a system where it's not regulated and people are just throwing out, oh, I took whatever for whatever, and someone's, well, I'm going to take that. No, that's not how it works.
yeah.
Um, and it's so there's my little bomb. Maybe we need to regulate our pharmacies.
I think so. I fully agree with you. I think with the exception maybe of arnica, which is
Yeah,
a great first aid remedy for bumps and bangs and trauma. I don't think anything else should be really out there.
yeah.
And I had an experience years ago when I was pregnant with my last baby. So that's gone back 13 years. And I heard a person who was running a mother and baby group that I just happened to be in. It wasn't when I was in all the time. I just happened to be there one day. And she was telling all of the pregnant women to start taking calophyllum 30C every day from about 32 weeks. Now, calophyllum is a remedy that can possibly instigate contractions, possibly, if it's the right remedy. But if you're taking that from 32, 33 weeks, and what if the cord is around the baby's neck? And
Oh
what if
my
there's
God.
other issues? That baby is not supposed to come out that fast, and you throw your body into this turmoil of creating contractions. It makes us actually worse
Mm.
than what's going on in the medical field in the
Yeah,
birthing practices. It really does, because
yeah,
it's done with ignorance and lack of knowledge, and not lack of concern, lack of knowledge.
yeah.
And that's
Absolutely,
that's a dangerous thing. That's a really
absolutely.
dangerous thing. That's when it
Yeah,
gets up there, and we don't want this remedy, this medicine to be demonized. We already have enough nonsense about it.
yeah.
So yeah, like you said, we have to get back respecting it, and respecting the work that's gone into the training behind it.
Absolutely. And it does need 4 years training.
Yeah,
There's a reason it's 4 years or three in some cases. It's needed. But I definitely the respecting and I love, when we do have clients, and you've seen this with all the people we've worked with, when they start to understand remedies and start to understand their body's responses. Because this journey with these remedies brings you back to that connection to your body and to listening to
yeah,
your body responses. Whereas a lot of the time, people who rush out to get these remedies are really coming from what we call an allopathic standpoint, which is they're just trying to shut off the conversation their body is trying to have, be it through pain or discomfort in their body. And all they're trying to do is, oh, I'm going to shut that off. But actually, when you're working with homeopathy, you embrace that conversation, and it's beautiful to witness it in our clients, isn't it? And in ourselves even as well. We've had to go on that journey.
But if you shut down that conversation that the body's trying to have with you, it's going to come out somewhere else.
Exactly.
You know, and it'll come out louder.
Exactly. And that's what we talk about, isn't it? When, you know, you're taking these remedies and you don't know, like that, the body's, you're not listening to the conversation and you're just throwing something in, and the conversation is going to come at you a different way. There you go, Anto.
Ranty Mac, Ranty Pants is stepping down.
We'd love to hear, you know, any thoughts people have, or even any questions or feedback on what we've just shared, because it is a big subject, and maybe even practitioners might have comments on this. I don't know. But yeah, I really, both of us are passionate about homeopathy. It's our main passion. We have other passions, but it's our main passion. And we just really want to see it grow beautifully, but safely.
Yeah, that's it. You've said it all.
Thanks. Okay, till next time, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.